Assalamu alaikum, Siraj Zadi ka bahut bahut adab, namaskar, and good afternoon. You're very welcome to the program. You're listening to Apna Radio, broadcasting at 93.9 Dublin South FM. Here we go. Every Thursday, I am here to talk to you about affairs of the world, affairs in India. Sharath is here with me to talk about some serious affairs. And indeed, the news that has been going on in the world is sometimes good, sometimes is not good, and sometimes is not bad, sometimes is not good at all. And the whole atmosphere of the news world is very palpitating, and indeed a very, sometimes people do try to get the stories and running around the studios and things like that, and particularly in the newspaper industry and radio industry as well. But here we, at Dublin South FM, we try to take things very calmly and quietly. So Sharath is here to talk about delimation of the Indian Parliament. What is delimation?
Thank you. There are several issues that are deeply consequential to Indian democracy, yet they remain on the margins of public discourse, overshadowed generally by uncertainty and shifting policies. And then there are issues like Aurangzeb's tomb and the violence in Bengal. But it is high time we elevate awareness around matters that lie at the very foundation of Indian constitution and democratic values. Week after week, we take responsibility and try to focus on topics of immense political and constitutional importance. And today, we are going to talk about delimitation. Why is this important? Because delimitation will profoundly reshape political power. It will redefine the representation of people, and in the process will alter the linguistic character of the states. If you see overall, it is going to disturb the delicate balance of cooperative federalism of India. So who are the concerned parties? The regional parties, the national parties, they are going to get impacted not only by numbers, but their narratives will change. And therefore, all of them are coming under hammer. Delimitation is not a new concept. It is an essential process in any functioning democracy. The United States have it, Britain has it. These are the largest functioning democracy. And it is meant purely to ensure fair and proportionate representation as populations grow and shift. Bengaluru is not what it used to be 20 years ago, and so is the national capital region of Delhi. This is just a few examples. Ideally, in India, this should be carried out every 10 years, and that too after the national population census has been done. Before year 1976, some 50 years ago, India had already undergone 3 such exercises. However, following the 42nd constitutional amendment in the same year, the process was frozen until year 2001 census, and then it was subsequently frozen until year 2026. But then, as the constitution requires, the delimitation has to be done after the census. So the last census of India was supposed to be in year 2021, but due to COVID, it got postponed. I would say indefinitely postponed, although there were chances that we could have done it in year 22 or maybe 2023. But then 2024 were general elections, and the political parties didn't want to affect their political gains, their political results, and therefore were reluctant. So the census is pending, and therefore the legitimacy of the delimitation in India is under question. The delimitation has serious implications. So for example, currently there is a glaring imbalance in the ratio of population to parliamentary representation. Take this example. The entire state of Sikkim, with a population of around 6,600,000, has 1 member of parliament. And the same number as Bhopal, this is a single city with over 2 million voters, 20 lakh voters, has 1 member of parliament. And across India, there are many such disparities, with member of parliament from populous constituencies carrying an enormous burden of representation and public expectation. Yet, even the suggestion of initiating delimitation stirs anxiety and insecurity, and especially about its impact to the federal structure of India. Major concerns come from the southern states due to the demographic shift, and they will lose in the process the parliamentary seats, while the northern states stands to gain. Why this imbalance is going to happen? Because the southern states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, they have progressed very well on the developmental and economic trajectory. And that in turn has successfully stalled or curbed the population growth. In contrast, the northern states such as Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, they have lagged behind in family planning efforts, also in the economic terms. So the stark difference in the fertility rate in the south of India can be seen, which is about 1.8, while in north it remains near 3. This has led to explosive population growth in the north, as we can see. Uttar Pradesh, because of this delimitation, if it happens, so Uttar Pradesh, for instance, has grown from 8 crore to over 32 crores, 4 times. Meanwhile, the southern states have merely grown twice in their population. And if this delimitation comes over, the number of seats in Uttar Pradesh, and for that matter the Hindi belt, are going to overpower the seats in south of India. If seats in parliament are to be strictly allocated based on this population growth, southern states could see that their representation will fall currently from 28% to less than 18%. And further in future, it may come down to 9%. Of course, these are just the projections or rough estimate, I would say. But then we can see a growing trend where the southern states are being penalized for their success, while the northern states are rewarded for the failure in their policies. Now, this imbalance, I would say, is moral, economically unjust, and politically incorrect. If we look at the financial aspect, southern states contribute more to the central tax pool. And in some cases, up to 28% of the national GDP comes from the southern states. And this is primarily due to higher literacy, industrial and infrastructural growth, and because of higher literacy, there is higher tax compliance. Yet, over the time, these states will face the possibility of diminished political power, as their tax revenue will continue to be redistributed to support the underperforming states in the north. So by a rough estimate, Kerala will lose up to 1/3 of its parliamentary seats. Kerala would lose 9 seats, and Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, they might lose 2 to 3 seats. On the other side, states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, they will continue to increase their vote shares, rather the parliamentary seats, and it could double in next 2 decades. Now, this is a crisis of representational injustice. The political dimension is that whosoever would control the Hindi belt with whatever narrative, maybe it is Hindu-Muslim or development or the Aurangzeb tomb or any relevant or irrelevant narrative, whosoever is able to control this demography will continue to control the Parliament of India. And this is dangerous to the democracy of India. Given the existing trust deficit between the central government and many states, non-ruling party states, rather the opposition states, fear of political manipulation are not unfounded. So currently, there are contests between the central government and the states on the issues like 3-language policy on education, alleged funding biases between the states and the center, and the interference in the concurrent subjects of administration. And they all have deepened over a period of time, creating a sense of alienation between the states and the center. At a time when cooperative federalism should be nurtured in a sensitive democratic setup, delimitations only threatens to divide. While the process, which will be as per Article 81 and 82 of the Constitution, it is to undertake by an independent delimitation commission and may be supported by Supreme Court and Election Commission, these institutions too are facing a crisis of credibility. The news is all over. And this erosion of trust, even with these supporting bodies, neutral bodies supposedly, they are clouding the process. What now? If delimitation goes forward solely on population, even if every seat in southern India were won by political party, if you do that calculation, that party would only have a control of 9% of total parliamentary seats. So their voice, just by the mathematical imbalance, will bring nothing to the parliamentary debates, to the outcome of the parliamentary process. History has warned us. Under British colonial rule, if you see, the wealth of India's prosperous regions were exploited to serve the interest of a much smaller population in Britain. So everything was moved out of India while the laws were made here in London. So we risk a repeat where economically successful regions like the South, yet less populous than the states in the North, would end up subsidizing more less developed and underperforming states of India, both economically and politically. And North-South divide will only worsen. So too will be the linguistic and the regional tensions. And therefore, it is important to check this trajectory of national unity which is at stake. So here are my questions to confront. Some may be uncomfortable. Is our democratic structure flawed when representation is solely tied to the population? Should economic performance, literacy, and governance not be a factor into parliamentary seat allocation? Is the linguistic and the cultural formation of Indian states as we did in 1947, is it under threat from the current model of delimitation? And finally, should we not freeze the delimitation until a fresh census, that too a caste census, provides an accurate data about the socio-economic and the political state of India? These are not easy questions to answer, but must be tackled apolitical. But we'll continue to ask them boldly, openly, and responsibly. I leave you with those thoughts until next week. Stay safe, stay informed, and dutifully ask questions. Bye for now.
Dublin South FM.
You wouldn't buy a car without knowing its history. So why would you buy a story without knowing who's telling it? Come here and I tell you. It's not always easy to verify what you see, read, or hear. But now there's help. Visit www.bemediasmart.ie. Stop, think, check. Be Media Smart. Brought to you by Media Literacy Ireland, supported by RTE.
93.9 Dublin South FM.
Indeed. Welcome back to the program. Quite a few things are happening, as I said. What Sharad has mentioned in his talk is quite very, very serious stuff, because delimitation of limiting people for voting rights and not giving enough, space for a lot of people who would be, who would be the candidates, in fact. Now, hopefully that will be worked out, and it's a serious question. And I'm interested to know what's happened, because in Delhi recently I've seen the clip that a lot of people removed from the electoral board, electoral register, and so they were literally been removed, and therefore I don't know why it has happened, but that's a question. But obviously something is going wrong. Something is going in there in a politically meandering and a gigantic scale, whereby states have been cajoled, results of the states have been cajoled, and democracy is at question. So this is something serious stuff, and hopefully delimitation is something that you pay attention to. But what can I say? I mean, this is something very complex issue. We are in the Easter weekend and Easter week. So concerts are happening. Summer concerts are coming along. Spring concerts. Well, this is going to be a summer concert. While talking about the concerts and all of that musical things, we have to, of course, to go to our own music stock that I compiled every Thursday for you. Be detached to your nostalgia music, Indian industry, Indian cinema industry. It always try to project the positive image of the country, the music, the songs, and super song hero.
ये रेशमी जुल्फें, ये शरबती आँखें, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। ये रेशमी जुल्फें, ये शरबती आंखें, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। जाएंगी जो ये आंखें शर्म से झुक जाएंगी, सारी बातें यहीं बस रुक जाएंगी। चुप रहना ये अफसाना, कोई इनको ना बतलाना कि इन्हें देख कर पी रहे हैं सभी। इन्हें देख कर पी रहे हैं सभी। ये रेशमी जुल्फें, ये शरबती आंखें, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। मगरूर इतनी हो जाएंगी, जुल्फें मगरूर इतनी हो जाएंगी, दिल को तड़पाएंगी, जी को तरसाएंगी। ये कर देंगी दीवाना, कोई इनको न बतलाना कि इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। ये रेशमी जुल्फें, ये शरबती आंखें, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी।
So, the listeners, two important announcements to be made, and particularly this one, that on the 11th of May at 7 p.m., Civic Theatre Tala is hosting a wonderful sitar concert called Strings Attached. But there's no strings attached. But it's just the name, a catchy name called Strings Attached by Shakir Khan, a sitar performer from India, obviously, and Deba Jyothi Sanyal, who is also from Calcutta, is here. And Deba Jyothi Sanyal will be on tabla, will be performing this fantastic concert organized by the Indian Classical Musical Society of Ireland on the 11th of May, 7 p.m. Civic Theatre, Tala.
इशारों इशारों में दिल लेने वाले, बताए हुनर तूने सीखा कहाँ से?
निगाहों निगाहों में जादू चलाना मेरी जान सीखा है तुमने जहाँ से। तुम भाग गए, मेरी क्या थी इसमें खता? मुझे जिसने तड़पा दिया, यही थी वो जालिम अदा, यही थी वो जालिम अदा। ये रांझा की बातें, ये मजनू के किस्से अलग तो नहीं है मेरी दास्तां से।
इशारों इशारों में दिल लेने वाले, बताए हुनर तूने सीखा कहाँ से? जबकि खुद कर दिया हो मोहब्बत का इजहार अपनी जुबान से।
निगाहों निगाहों में जादू चलाना मेरी जान सीखा है तुमने कहाँ से? जान जहां लाखों में तुम एक हो, हमारी निगाहों की भी कुछ तो मगर दाद दो, कुछ तो मगर दाद दो। बहारों को भी नाज जिस फूल पर था, वही फूल हमने चुना गुलसिता से।
इशारों इशारों में दिल लेने वाले, बताए हुनर तूने सीखा कहाँ से?
निगाहों निगाहों में जादू चलाना मेरी जान सीखा है तूने जहाँ से।
बताए हुनर तूने।
Yeah, मेरे भाइयों बताइए हुनर तूने सीखा कहाँ से? We'll stay with Mr. Rafi today, but before that, a lot of things are happening in the world, particularly if you are. World is changing, and it is inevitable. You need to change yourself with the world. But it's a very, how do I say, a very discerning is the word, is a very disheartening is to detach yourself. I mean, hopefully you would be able to understand what's going on. one thing that I'd really like to talk about is the activism. What is activism? People say that I'm activist. Activist means that raising a voice on something that is concerns, about people, about nation, about country, about issues and things like that. But so those who do care to raise their voice, and of course, here on this program, we normally do raise our voices to Sharad raises his voice, I do, and Charmaine, the news and all that. We try to cover as much as we possible, and we try to actually mention. But sometimes the serious matter do get attention, and we try to actually strike the balance between the music and talk and serious and light mood. So yes, there are serious issues, and one of the serious issues is activism. What is activism? Why? Because activism is something to raise your concern. And I don't know if you've been following or listening to the news and the globe and the world, is that Howard, which is the world-renowned in the US, it's a private university, I believe, but very cash-rich, very strong, and it's also received a huge amount of grant from the central government of the United States of America. Now, that has also been curtailed and gagged, because the campus activities, a lot of students are raising their concern about the situation in Palestine and the genocide of Gaza and all that. So those who are doing activism, and the university gets punishment for that. The university has been told that your grant was going to be cancelled or curtailed, and you will not be funded. Your fundings will not be given to you as much as used to be the case. Now, I mean, what's the crime of the university? Universities are education center for learning, center for education, and the Donald Trump government is clamping on the grants and on the financial support which the Department of Education gets it. So he is threatening them, he's curtailing them, and now that is also happening in India too. Aligarh Muslim University has been, the grant has been curtailed. UGC grant, University Grant Commission, has curtailed that. So whatever that it was is being reduced to 1/4, in fact, and also the JNU grant, which has also been conceived as a center for activists. Well, I mean, young mind students, whether they're undergraduates or graduates or postgraduate, they will raise questions. They will be, they're young, and the young people's, that's what they do. They raise questions. They try to raise their voice. Of course, they can't do much about anything, about the issue itself, but at least they can do raise their voices. So this is what is going on, and it will affect the grant. And Howard is not the only one. Yale is also been mentioned, that Yale will also be the university that their grants will be curtailed. Anyway, I'll stay with the songs.
हुआ कसूर खफा मत होना रे मैंने तुझे जरा देर में जाना हुआ कसूर खफा मत होना रे ओ मेरे सोना रे सोना रे सोना जाए जान जुदा मत होना रे, मैंने तुझे जरा देर में जाना, हुआ कसूर खफा मत होना रे, ओ मेरे सोना रे सोना रे सोना। कसूर खफा मत होना रे, ओ मेरे सोना रे सोना रे सोना।
हमसे न उलझना, नहीं लट और उलझन में पड़ जाएगी, ओ पछताओगी कुछ ऐसे कि ये सुर्खी लबों की उतर जाएगी, ये सजा तुम भूल जाना, प्यार को ठोकर मत लगाना, के चला जाऊंगा फिर मैं न जाने कहाँ।
मेरे सोना रे सोना रे सोना रे, दे दूंगी जान जुदा मत होना रे, मैंने तुझे जरा देर में जाना, हुआ कसूर खफा मत होना रे, मैंने तुझे जरा देर में जाना, हुआ कसूर खफा मत होना रे।
These are the evergreen song that I'm staying with that today. And the time is really galloping fast. And it's going to be Easter time next, this Friday is going to be Easter Friday. And it's an interesting holiday. And Easter Sunday, Easter Monday, tend the holy things that are done on Easter Day. Easter is a very holy time. After Christmas is the Easter time. What happened in the Easter, why we celebrate Easter, something that needs to be talked about. But I would say that it's the rising of Christ, and Christ is risen after 3 days of his crucifixion, and then the third day. That's the Christian version. So there's a lot of differences, and conflict exists because of these differences of opinion on religious matter that happened thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. So anyway, hopefully we would be able to tell the people what has happened. Indeed, Easter time. There's no shortage of films. There's no shortage of material. There's history. What has happened on the Easter time. Risen of Christ is celebrated. But I would celebrate that with a song.
अंधेरी राहों में सुकून दिल को मिला आके तेरी बाहों में, मैं एक खोई हुई मौज हूँ, तू साहिल है, जहाँ जहाँ भी जाऊं ये लगता है तेरी महफिल है। तू इस तरह से मेरी जिंदगी में शामिल है। जमाल से रोशन है कायनात मेरी, तेरे जमाल से रोशन है कायनात मेरी। मेरी तलाश तेरी दिलकशी रहे बाकी, खुदा करे तेरी वफा ही मेरी हर खुशी का हासिल है। जहाँ भी जाऊं ये लगता है तेरी महफिल है। तू इस तरह से मेरी जिंदगी में शामिल है।
Have you ever wondered what kind of support is available to you and your family in the community? The Southside Partnership is here to help. We support people, build vibrant communities and improve social and economic inclusion in the Dunleary Rathdown area. We offer services including employment supports, education and training, self-employment supports, enterprise supports, youth and family supports, supports for local community groups and the TOOS programme, which offers valuable work experience in many roles such as radio production, sports coaching, librarian, administration, caretaking and much more. If you'd like to learn more about the Southside Partnership, please visit southsidepartnership.ie.
किस्मत से मिल गए हो, मिलके जुदा न हो। किस्मत से मिल गए हो, मिलके जुदा न हो। मेरी क्या खता है, होता है ये भी कि ज़मीं से भी कभी आसमान मिल गया, कि जहां मिल गया। जानो तुम क्या हो, एक सुरीला नगमा हो, भीगी रात बातों में मस्ती तपते दिन में साया हो तुम क्या जानो तुम क्या हो अब जो आ गए हो जाने न दूंगा कि मुझे एक हंसी मेहरबान मिल गया कि जहां मिल गया
Beautiful song. In fact, it's written by the father of the Shabana Azmi, Mr. Kafi Azmi Saab. And, the Kafi Azmi song in those days were being sung by Rafi Saab. Those were the good combination of people who were being... These days, I think the younger generation have to know the classic songs. Are really a good treasure. These days, songs are sometime there, sometime not there. Sometime, all sorts of kind of like crazy songs. And the lyrics are not as strong as they used to be. So there you go. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the last track because I think this is the time I'll come back to say goodbye, but this is a good track.
बुझा तुम भी थे खोए खोए मैं भी बुझा था अजनबी जमाना अपना कोई न था अजनबी जमाना अपना कोई न था दिल को जो मिल गया है तेरा सहारा एक नई जिंदगी का निशान मिल गया तुम जो मिल गए हो तो ये लगता है कि जहां मिल गया एक भटके हुए राही को कारवां मिल गया तुम जो मिल गए हो तो ये लगता है कि जहां मिल गया कि जहां
Kabhi, sorry, I'm not switching over into our own language, but I try to stay in English. Sometimes, these songs do have a depth in them, the wordings that do come along whereby, because in those days, I was watching, in fact, a film recently, it really left a significant impact on me. Old film on Max 2. It's called Parampara. Parampara was the Sunil Dutt, Vinod Khanna, and some, stars, Amir Khan, and also Saif Ali Khan, and the second generation, Anupam Kher. A very powerful film. The songs pretty much powerful as well. So in those days, when the 1980s, but those of the films were long films, 3-hour films with lots of 5 or 6 songs and things. All that has changed. Change is inevitable. As I said earlier in the program, one thing is the change. Now, obviously, the films are no longer those kind of films because the programs are now digital. And there are shows now, series and things. Hardly any song. That format of industry structure is gone now, where the villain, conflict, fight, the song sequences, all of that is gone, I think. And now we are more driven by the realistic stories that are meaningful stories. And films are being shot on films and cameras very, very realistically. So therefore, as I said, a huge change in the industry in the last, I think it's driven by the technology. So therefore, one thing which I really have complaint about it is the abusive language in the scripts. As we call it, galis. They are pretty more norm now, using very filthy language. Now, I mean, they could say that, look, I mean, in Hollywood, also in British films, in abusive language, depicting the real character is like that and is like that, vulgar. Therefore, we're depicting the reality. Well, you have a choice. Anyway, time to say goodbye. But thank you very much for listening. Happy Easter. I'll be back. Enjoy the weekend.
कभी न बन जाऊं तेरे प्यार में ऐ कविता मैं कहीं कभी न बन जाऊं तुझे दिल के आईने में मैंने बार बार देखा तुझे दिल के आईने में मैंने बार बार देखा तेरी आँखों में देखा तो छलकता प्यार देखा तेरा तीर मैंने देखा तो जिगर के पार देखा मैं कहीं कभी न बन जाऊं तेरे प्यार में ऐ कविता मैं कहीं कभी न बन जाऊं लचक है तेरा रंग है सलोना तेरे अंग में लचक है तेरी बात में है जादू तेरे बोल में खनक है तेरी हर अदा मोहब्बत तू जमीन की धनक है मैं कहीं कभी न बन जाऊं तेरे प्यार में ऐ कविता मैं कहीं कभी न बन जाऊं सादा सादा मेरा दिल भर रहा है तेरा रूप सादा सादा ये झुकी झुकी निगाहें करे प्यार दिल में ज्यादा मैं तुझी पे जान दूंगा है यही मेरा इरादा मैं कहीं कभी न बन जाऊं तेरे प्यार में ऐ कविता शर्बती आंखें, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। ये रेशमी जुल्फें, ये शर्बती आंखें, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। जाएंगी, जो ये आंखें शर्म से झुक जाएंगी, सारी बातें यहीं बस रुक जाएंगी। चुप रहना ये अफसाना, कोई इनको ना बतलाना, कि इन्हें देख कर पी रहे हैं सभी, इन्हें देख कर पी रहे हैं सभी। ये रेशमी जुल्फें, ये शर्बती आंखें, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। मगरूर इतनी हो जाएंगी, जुल्फें मगरूर इतनी हो जाएंगी, दिल को तड़पाएंगी, जी को तरसाएंगी। ये कर देंगी दीवाना, कोई इनको न बतलाना, कि इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। ये रेशमी जुल्फें, ये शर्बती आंखें, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी, इन्हें देख कर जी रहे हैं सभी। कहीं कभी न बन जाऊं तेरे प्यार में कविता, मैं कहीं कभी न बन जाऊं तेरे प्यार में कविता, मैं कहीं कभी न बन जाऊं। तुझे दिल के आईने में मैंने बार बार देखा, तुझे दिल के आईने में मैंने बार बार देखा, तेरी अंखड़ियों में देखा तो छलकता प्यार देखा, तेरा तीर मैंने देखा तो जिगर के पार देखा, मैं कहीं कभी न बन जाऊं तेरे प्यार में कविता, मैं कहीं कवि न बन जाऊं। तेरा रंग है सलोना, तेरे अंग में लचक है। तेरा रंग है सलोना, तेरे अंग में लचक है। तेरी बात में है जादू, तेरे बोल में खनक है। तेरी हर अदा मोहब्बत, तू जमीन की धनक है। मैं कहीं कवि न बन जाऊं, तेरे प्यार में है कविता, मैं कहीं कवि न बन जाऊं। मेरा दिल लुभा रहा है, तेरा रूप सादा सादा। मेरा दिल लुभा रहा है, तेरा रूप सादा सादा। ये झुकी झुकी निगाहें करे प्यार दिल में ज्यादा। मैं तुझी पे जान दूंगा, है यही